that lineage, he had all the shadows he could stand. Alexandra VII, Empress of Man, regarded her youngest child through half-slitted eyes. The carefully metered bite of Stevens's ironic announcement had apparently gone over the prince's head completely. Roger certainly didn't seem affected by the old spacer's disdain in the slightest. Unlike her flamboyant son, Empress Alexandra wore a blue suit of such understated elegance that it must have cost as much as a small starship. Now she leaned back in her float chair and propped her cheek on her hand, wondering for the 100th time if this was the right decision. But there were 1,000 other decisions awaiting her, all of them vital, and she'd spent all the time she intended to on this one. "Mother," Roger said insouciantly, with a micrometric bow, and glanced at his brother in the flanking chair. "To what do I owe the honor of being summoned into two such august presences?" he continued with a slight knowing smirk. John MacClintock gave his younger brother a thin smile and a nod. The galaxy-renowned diplomat was dressed in a conservative suit of blue worsted, with a practical damask handkerchief poking out of one sleeve. For all that he looked like a doltish banker, his poker face and sleepy eyes hid a mind as insightful as any in the known worlds. And despite the developing paunch of middle age, he could have become a professional golfer if the job of heir apparent had allowed the time for it. The Empress leaned forward abruptly and fixed her youngest with a laser stare. "Roger, we are sending you off-planet on a show-the-flag mission." Roger blinked several times and smoothed his hair. "Yes?" he replied carefully. "The planet Leviathan is celebrating net hauling in 2 months. Oh, my God, Mother!" Roger's exclamation cut the Empress of Man off in mid-sentence. "You must be joking." "We are not joking, Roger," Alexandra said severely. "Leviathan's primary export may be grumbly oil, but that doesn't change the fact that it's a focal planet in the Sagittarius sector. And there hasn't been a family representative for net hauling in 2 decades. Since I repudiated your father," she didn't bother to add. "But, Mother, the smell," the prince protested, shaking his head to toss an errant strand of hair out of his eyes. He knew he was whining and hated it, but the alternative was smelling grumbly oil for at least several weeks on the planet, and even after he escaped Leviathan, it would take several more weeks for Costas to get the smell out of his clothes. The oil made a remarkable musk base. In fact, it was in the cologne he was wearing at the moment, but in its raw form, it was the most noxious stuff in the galaxy. "We don't care about the smell, Roger," snapped the Empress, "and neither should you. You will show the flag for the dynasty, and you will show our subjects that we care enough about their reaffirmation of alliance to the Empire to send one of our children. Is that understood?" The young prince drew himself up to his full 195 centimeters and gathered the shreds of his dignity. "Very well, Your Imperial Majesty. I will, of course, do my duty as you see fit. It is my duty, after all, is it not, Your Imperial Majesty? Noblesse oblige, and all that?" His aristocratic nostrils flared in suppressed anger. "Now, I suppose I have some packing to oversee. By your leave?" Alexandra's steely gaze held him for a few moments more, and then she waggled her fingers in the direction of the door. "Go. Go and do a good job." The "for a change" was unstated. Prince Roger gave another micrometric bow, turned his back quite deliberately, and stalked out of the room. "You could have handled that better, Mother," John said quietly after the door had closed on the angry young man. "Yes, I could have," she sighed, steepling her fingers under her chin. "And I should have, damn it. But he looks too much like his father." "But he isn't his father, Mother," John said quietly, "unless you create his father in him or drive him into Unabridged's camp."